Hello everyone, this is the Essential Reason once again back with another video. Thank you so much for tuning in to my last video. As you know, we've been talking about the quarantine series, and last time we talked about emotional intelligence. And yes, it's a very deep topic and it's very knowledgeable, but this time we're gonna talk about another very important topic. We're gonna take a look, for example, in my daily life, what does someone do in their average daily life, for me, I'm a working student, I go to work, and then I do school at the same time, and then at the same time you still have to spend time with your family, with your friends, hang out, all of these things, but how can we do that, right? How can we, prioritize things? And today, as you probably know what we're going to talk about. We are going to be talking about time management, right? How can we manage our time better? A lot of people have been saying most of the time that they don't have the time, or that they are the busiest person out there. For me, at least I seem like I am the busiest person out there because, I'm working right now at least full time until school goes back. But once school goes back, I'll be working again. I'll still be working, but at the same time I'll be doing school. We don't travel right now because the travel it takes to go to school, the travel it takes to go to work. How much time does it consume just to do each thing, right? But now we don't have to travel. I don't have to travel as much because of what's going on, the pandemic. So we have our school online. And how do we balance, our time? I hear a lot of people, they always complain to me, like, Leslie, I don't have any time for you. I am so busy. The key word is like people always say, to me, that they are busy, that they don't have the time, that they have to do this, that they have to do that, that they can't squeeze me in their little hours or whatever. A lot of my friends have been saying but I always tell them that, you need to balance, right? You need to balance your time. And the main reason why people have been saying they don't have the time is because you are not their priority. I know it's sad to say this, but if somebody tells you, right, that they don't have the time and that they are the busiest person in the entire world, it's because that you are not their number one priority. So everyone knows that we have learned to prioritize things, and it's the same thing for time. What is our priority? What is our top priority? What is consuming our time, right? The top priority, that's what's consuming our time. For me, my top priority is school, right? Studying, right? It takes a lot of my time. And the second one is working. Working definitely takes a lot of time. But the question is, how can we save time, right? And so I'll give an example of a very busy person. A lot of people are busy, like my friend. All right, I'm just gonna give an example. I'm just gonna give an example like myself. It's just an example, it's not real. So let's say I'm going to school, I'm working, right? So I'm going to school, I have all these school work, school stuff. Those are my top priority. And at the same time, I have these club activities, like, going on, and I have to participate in each club, or I'm a leader of a club, I'm a president of a club, I manage a club, and there's so much paperwork to do in that club, the time it gets to get it approved. There is a lot of things going on. You have these, you have school, but at the same time you have extracurricular activities. But at the same time, how you gonna pay for your school, right? By working. So you have all these like extracurricular activities, all this schoolwork, all this volunteering. This volunteering community service that you're doing to increase your experience, to get more experience so you can put in your resume, and at the same time work. So you're increasing your community service to get more experience, but at the same time you need to increase your work experience. But the problem is, like, if it's an emergency, what if it's an emergency? How can we squeeze that time? Like, how can we make time, right? A lot of people, let's say this happens at my house a lot, the flooding of the house, right? There's a flooding going on, and of course there are some maintenance people that has to come to the house, right? But the problem is you don't have the time, right? But all of a sudden there is something that is, you need to make time for, or else it will cause a lot of damage, and it will cost you money, and it will cost a lot of things, like it will destroy a lot of things. So now what do you do, right, in that situation? Like, one of the things that I would say when it comes to time management, right, we need to set goals, right? So what are our most important goals, right? What are more important goals? What are our top priority at that moment, right? And then how can we set a time limit of doing each thing, right? Setting a time limit. And then, but at the same time, with all these overwhelming stress, because we can't manage our time, it's because we need to take a break, Sometimes when you get overwhelmed with a lot of things, we need to take a break. And another thing to do is to organize ourselves, right? Organization is very important, so you can manage your time wisely. In school, when you are organized, you can plan your time wisely, right? What is due this day? What is due that day? Are we gonna have an exam? When can I study, and how long can I study for that exam? When should I take breaks, right? Another thing is that most people, they have all these different tasks, but some of them are not even important, right? Remove the tasks that are not a priority, right? In order for you to make time, you'll find the time because you are forced to, right? You have no choice. It's either you leave it like that and it causes destruction, or you remove tasks that aren't essential, right? See the essential reason? Remove tasks that aren't essential. So another thing is to plan ahead. What I like doing in regards to schoolwork is planning ahead and getting things done early, right? So like we said, number 1, setting goals, right? Setting goals. What is our goal? One of my goals is to finish my school, work, right? That's a goal. whether it's a short-term or a long-term goal, right? What is my another goal is that I want to be financially independent. How long will that be? That's a long-term goal, right? Another thing is to prioritize wisely, right? What is our priority, right? What is the priority at that moment, right? How can we squeeze in that time? How can we, make time for that flooding of the house, right? Can we, do something about it? What can we do, right? You are forced to do something, and eventually, right? Eventually, little did you know, you will find the time, right? You will find the time. There are a lot of people in this world who are busy, but eventually, when you are forced to do something, when you have no choice, you will make the time, right? You will squeeze that time in. Whether it seemed impossible or you can't make it, you will do it because it's important, because it's your top priority. Once again, people say they don't have any time for you because you are not their priority. The question is, what is their priority, right? Like, for example, my priority is school, work, and becoming financially independent, right? Providing for myself. Alright? And then, how can we set a time limit? Like, how can we manage our time, right? Like, for example, for studying, right? How long can I study? Can I study for 1 hour, or 2 hours, a maximum of 2 hours each day before each exam, right? So, again, setting goals, especially for school, setting goals, prioritizing wisely, right? What is your priority? And then set a time limit, right? During this time, I'm going to study. During this time, I'm going to do this. During this time, I'm going to do that, right? So each time you have a set time, so you take control of your time. Am I right? You don't let time take control of you. You control your time. You just have to do the following, right? You have to set goals, prioritize wisely, set a time limit. And these things can get overwhelming, so you have to take breaks. Like when it comes to working or studying, you get overwhelmingly stressed. You get frustrated if you don't take breaks, right? Another thing is to be organized, being organized. Having a planner, being organized, can help make your life easier, right? It can help make your life easier because you know what's going on, what's on this day, what's on that day, right? You will see, if you are organized, which time is free and where you can squeeze in, for the maintenance to come, right? So you can see if you are organized, when you're available, when you're not available, when you're free. And even though you are not, you will manage to find the time. Another thing to do is to remove, right? Delete, get rid of unimportant tasks, menial tasks, non-essential tasks, right? Tasks that are, it's not really important, but it's taking your day. Like, for example, for me, I have school, I have work, and I have the YT, the YT life, and, YouTube life, but yet I still have menial tasks that I do, like one, playing games. I still manage to play games. I still manage, to search social media. I still manage to do all these things. But what if you remove that, right? What if you remove that, because that is not priority. That is not important, because there are always, better things to do, productive things to do. One last thing is plan ahead, right? This is something that has always helped me in school, planning ahead, getting things done ahead. That goes with removing essential tasks, organizing yourself. All of these things can help you, right? In business, right? In life insurance, being able to manage your time is very important, right? And if you can't manage your time, then what, right? Like, it's how can you make time for your family, but at the same time do your work for your clients, right? It's very, very important, right? We want to save time, but at the same time we keep working, we keep doing all these things, but the question is, how can we improve our life? Freedom, right? You want freedom. Everybody wants freedom. Everybody wants financial independence, right? Basically, what I'm trying to sell is, if we don't build the life we want, then we won't be able to save time. But if we do, gain freedom, gain financial independence, then time will save itself. Why? Because you will have more time to do things, because you have the money and you don't have to constantly work, and you have more time with your family. A lot of people are struggling nowadays, because they don't have the time, because they're always working, they are employed. Our generations before us, right, has inputted some sort of system, right, that we're supposed to go to school, get an education, and this will ultimately change our lives. But there are people who didn't go to school and yet still became successful because they learned how to manage their time, right? Like a lot of people say that you need to go to college in order to get the freedom you want. Well, I think college is just a stepping tool. It doesn't teach everything, that we need to know. School does not teach everything, every essential thing that we need to know, right? But the most important thing for us is to gain freedom. And if we have freedom, then we will have more time. And if we have financial independence, then we will have more time. We are always succumbed to a system, right? We always have a system that we need to follow. We need to be like this person. We need to be like that person. No, you need to be creative. You need to be something different. You need to be unique. That's how our world works. The people above, they don't want you to be creative. They want you to realize that you need to be employed, right? Only employed, so you can help them what? Get richer and richer and richer while you keep doing the work and work, right? So we have this system inputted, the rich are here, the poor are here, and the middle class are here. There's like a big gap, in between the three classes, the poor, the middle class, and the rich. Like, how many percentage of the population are the rich? And the rich get richer and richer. And what are they doing? Right? Because one of the things they do is they know how to manage their time. Right? They know how to manage their time. They get rich because they know how to manage their time. They know how to set goals correctly. They know how to prioritize wisely. They know how to set a time limit. They know how to chill, take a break, relax, They know how to be organized. Have you seen someone who is rich who is not organized? In insurance, they teach you to be organized. You need to be able to present yourself. You need to be able to convince someone. The first 4 seconds of impression of someone is very important. So you need to be very organized, right? And again, we need to remove, non-essential tasks or menial tasks or useless tasks that you are doing, and it's consuming your time, and yet you say you don't have the time, right? And one other thing, rich people, they like to plan ahead. Like, for example, in insurance, they have a list, right, of people who they're gonna invite, right, to the meetings, the conference, bring the people to the meetings, right? Who are we gonna invite, right? We're planning ahead. We're thinking of the future, right? So you have to think, what you're gonna do, right? And how you're gonna do it, right? So planning ahead. Who are you gonna invite to the meeting? Make a list of who you're gonna invite to the meeting. Like bring the people to the meeting. Okay, they're not available at this time, then bring them so-and-so, do a one-on-one, right? You can't bring the people to the meeting, then bring yourself to the people, right? So I think working as an insurance agent definitely has taught me a lot of skills, like time management. So if we build the life we want, we get the freedom we want, then time will save itself. You see, but if we don't live the life where we aren't living to our potential, then we don't build the life we want, right? If so, basically all of the things that I've been talking about in the quarantine series, they all go together, right? If you have emotional intelligence, then you'll be able to do time management. You'll be able to adapt, right? So, or applying the golden rule, right? So in insurance business, it's very important because you will be building a team, and the team needs to grow, right? In order for you to get up and up and up and up until you become at the top, right? So they all coincide with one another. All of the things that I've been talking about are very useful. The golden rule, treat others like you want to be treated, because you don't know what might happen to them. You don't know, one day they could be the reason that you could gain your freedom. And so, everybody, please, all of the things that I've been talking about, please use them wisely, right? A lot of the things that I've been talking about, please use them wisely. It's very important, right? Manage your time. That's a very important thing. They say, I quote, or from someone else, I don't really know who said this, that time is gold, right? Time is gold. But how can you make that time productive? How, can you make time save itself by being productive, right? Like in a business sense. How can you establish your business and ultimately gain freedom, right? It's because the system, we have always been taught the system, right? The system that has been imputed in our minds, right? But again, if you only follow the system and you don't have the necessarily skills, then you will be left behind. Anyways, everybody, I know that I've been talking for quite a while, and again, I hope what I've been talking about is very, very useful for you, right? We've been talking about a lot of useful things on our quarantine series, and I hope you enjoyed this segment, and I hope that one day that you guys will live the life, in your dreams, live your dream and make it a reality. And hopefully by that time you will have a lot of time to spend with your family, with your friends. You will be free. You will have the freedom because time saved itself, right? And that's what the business aspect always, teach us, is to save time by building the life we want, right? If we build the life we want, then time will save itself, right? Even a lot of people have been saying that. Not just in insurance, even some experts have been saying that. And so, with that said, everybody, again, if you made it to the end, thanks for watching my video, and I hope this has been helpful to you, and I hope you will take key term. It's not important to memorize the whole thing, right? As long as you understand, right, the key phrase, the key term, right? The main, right? The main, what do you call that? The plot, right? In a story, it doesn't matter about the whole story as long as you know the plot. If you know the plot, then you know what's going on. Am I right? Or am I wrong? I'm just kidding. Anyway, so if you know the plot, if you know the key phrase, the key term, key word, right? Then, it will be easier for you to remember things. You don't have to memorize the whole thing. You need to understand the key phrase, the key word, in order to understand and make it a broader picture, right? Just time management. What are the key words? What are the key phrases? Right? So when you remember time management, what are the key words? What are the key phrases? And this will ultimately help you. And so, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. And once again, thanks again for tuning in, and I hope to see you on another video. And if you do like this video, I hope that you will subscribe down below, right? You will hit the red subscribe button. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't, and hit the notification bell as well. Once again, this is the Essential Reason. Today we talk about time management, and I hope this quarantine series has been helping you, or anyone else who watches this video. And if you want to share this video, please feel free. And once again, folks, thanks for watching my video. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you will tune in for another video. Until then, see you next time.